Well, that's not good. I am stuck. The loader's bottomed out. Yeah, I'm sunk good. Welcome back, everybody. Silas here. We're out here at the yard, and this is a little bit of an update on the railroad situation. Today we are building, well, today and tomorrow, we are building a new road. I'll kind of explain what's going on as we go, but first things first, it's already 9 o'clock and I haven't gotten started. Too many phone calls, so we're just going to get started on this, and we'll worry about giving details in a little bit. We've talked to the railroad a couple times, but it's so hard to talk to somebody that actually has authority to make decisions. You have to go through 20 other people to get to one of those people, and everybody just says, oh, well, I don't know. It'd just be best if you just don't use that back there. And so we tried explaining that we're sharing a road, and they share their road, and it works out for everybody. And they just said, well, no, you don't have a road up there. And so we had it all surveyed, and yes, we do have a road up there. And they said, well, I guess do what you got to do, but we just can't figure it out. And so we just assume not have you use that back there. So basically what it boils down to is that somebody they don't want to help out. They're an employee, and they don't want to pass it on to somebody else. They don't want to put us in contact with the right people to be able to make the right decisions. And at this point, I mean, we might be able to figure something out in the future, but rather than fight on this forever, then we're just going to go ahead and build our new road. And if we're using the entrance and they can't get in, that's their problem. It's not our problem anymore. We're not trying to be petty. We're not going to permanently block it off or nothing like that. It's just, we're going to use our property the way we want to use our property, and life will go on. But to do that, I've got to get all these trees ripped out. I've got a bunch of rock coming in tomorrow that's going to come in here because this ground's pretty soft back here in this area. It's not an area that we've really used much. We're going to be bringing semis in through here, so we need to have it good and packed. I'm not sure how many loads of rock it's going to take. I'm hoping I can get away with about 6 or 7. It may take as many as 10 loads though, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. And there we go. Got all these trees in this area taken out. As you can see back here where it was all grassy and there was a lot of trees and the sun and wind couldn't really get down in here, the ground is still pretty soft. We haven't had any rain now for 2 weeks, I think. But there for a while it was raining like crazy, and so we got quite a bit of moisture in the ground. Up there is pretty dry, but that's all exposed. There's no grass, no trees. It's pretty hard packed, and so it's pretty much dried out. But kind of right here where the grass starts, obviously it couldn't dry out, so it's pretty soggy. There's a lot of rock in this ground, but pulling semis through here, it would turn to slop pretty fast. So this is where we're going to bring the rock in, and I've got a big pile of dirt right out here that I can use. I'll kind of use that to raise this ground up a little bit, and then we'll put the rock in on top of it, because this area right through here, just this little section, is kind of low, and the road's going to kind of go out that way and loop that direction. I still have to take all those trees out. Home sweet home. We are back again. Some of you may remember I mentioned a while back in a video that my wife and I have never had a new mattress since we got married 12 years ago. I bought a used one right before we got married, and that's what we've had ever since. But all that just changed. We finally got a new mattress from Brooklyn Bedding. Brooklyn Bedding has been making mattresses for over 25 years, and they figured out a way of getting the comfort and the quality but without the luxury price tag. One of the things I noticed right off the bat was the range of options that you can choose from. Different types of bedding, different sizes, different dimensions, different firmness options. Basically, whatever you're looking for in a mattress, they have. As somebody who's never bought a new mattress, it was a little bit overwhelming at first. But I just had to stop and think about what mattresses have I slept on that I enjoyed, which ones did I not enjoy over the years at motels, different places like that. And so we settled on a medium firmness mattress, and we went with the Sedona Elite in a king size. We've had our mattress now for over a month. Actually, now that I think about it, it's been almost 2 months. It was free shipping right to the door, super easy to set up. I did have it upside down at first, and then I realized what I was doing wrong, so I got it flipped over correctly. But my wife and I both absolutely love this mattress. It is so comfortable, by far the most comfortable mattress we've ever slept on. Having this Brooklyn bedding mattress has made my sleep so much better. And I'm always busy working and editing, so I don't have as much time to sleep as I'd like. So what time I do get to sleep, I want it to be quality sleep. And this is kind of a side note, but another one of my favorite things about this mattress is the fact that it has handles on the side of it. Moving mattresses around sometimes can be such a pain. With your Brooklyn bedding mattress, you get a 120-night sleep trial along with a 10-year warranty. BrooklynBedding.com delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the US. The best part about all of this is that Brooklyn bedding mattresses are designed, assembled, and shipped right from their Arizona factory. So that basically means they're cutting out the middleman, and that's why they're able to give you such a quality mattress at an affordable price. My wife and I love our Brooklyn bedding mattress, and I think you would too. So if you're looking for a new bed, check out brooklynbedding.com. You can click the links below and get 30% off your mattress with code MADEFROMSCRATCH. That's brooklynbedding.com/madefromscratch. Thanks again to Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring today's video and for giving me a good night's sleep. Let's get back to the video. There we go. We are done for the day out here. It's starting to get late. It's starting to get cold. Got this all wide open and ready for the rock that's coming in tomorrow. Was gonna crush some cars, but both batteries on the crusher went dead. It's that time of year where usually at least one of our pieces of equipment loses a battery, which is kind of weird about this one because the battery that was in this one's only a year old. Usually it's one of the ones that the battery, is 3-4 years old in. But we were looking at it and the cables are really corroded and rusty on both ends. And so we're just going to put all new cables on it tomorrow, new batteries, whole 9 yards. I got 3 trucks coming tomorrow that I got to load, and then I'm going to try to crush some cars, try to do the rock. I got a lot I'll be doing tomorrow. I'm a little bit worried about this area right here. I was driving the loader through here and I was really struggling. I had it in first gear and I was spinning all 4 wheels. I had to sit there and bounce the forks like that to get traction to go across this. I have a feeling this is going to soak up a lot of rock right here. I was thinking about 6 or 7 loads would probably get me, but man, it's probably going to take 3 or 4 loads for just this one little section. Over here in this area is kind of soft right here, so that's going to take quite a bit of rock to raise this little hole up. But then out here, it's actually not that bad. It seemed soft at first, but just once I drove the excavator back and forth across it a bunch, it kind of packed down, and now it's actually fairly solid, which is kind of shocking because this is ground that has never been driven on before. But it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. There's a lot of ground like this over here that's pretty tore up where I ripped out trees, but I'm not worried about that right now. Mainly I just wanted to have it ready to where we can just start right there and start dumping rock in here and make it to where the semis can drive in on a good solid base. I just threw all the trees off to the side for now. Like I say, I was in a hurry trying to just get it done. I'll come in here and tidy this up another day. But I accomplished my primary goals for today, which was to get this all situated, get it all open, and then get everything set up to where tomorrow I can focus on working on putting the rock in, and I don't have to worry about getting the loads out and stuff like that. I got the loads ready to go. It's kind of soft over there, but I really don't need to worry about that too much. Where the semis are going to drive is kind of like right here next to the excavator. And from about this point on, really doesn't need anything. This is brick hard ground. It's hard packed, ready to go. I'll probably bring more rock in eventually, but for now, we'll just get the basics done. Oh, I completely forgot to mention, my dad was actually out here today running the loader for probably about half the day while I was doing that over there. A whole bunch of cars came in. I don't even know how many he bought. I want to say 11 or 12 or 13 or something like that. I had to go help him pick up one car because it was in their backyard at a weird angle. So I helped with that one, but he's actually been hauling a few cars on his own. And then a lot of the cars that came in today are ones that people brought to us. There's 2 different places right now that are cleaning up their inventory for the end of the year. And so they've been hauling cars back to back. But now I will see you guys in the morning. Well, that's not good. I am stuck. The loader's bottomed out. Oh man, this mud, I hate this mud. This is just a nightmare. We got so much rain. We went from no rain to all the rain. Yeah, I'm sunk good, but I can get it out of there. Not a big deal. Let me set the camera up and I'll show you how it's done. Absolute worst case scenario, I'll get the excavator over here with the chain, pull it out that way, but I don't think we'll even need that. Here we go. This is how you do it. No problem at all. Got right out. Just got to use the forks to work yourself out of there, kind of pull yourself, push yourself, whatever you got to do. But yeah, definitely not going to drive over there anymore. I guess what I'm going to have to do is take the excavator over here and take this and kind of move it into this hole. I really don't have to worry about this area too much. I kind of need my road to be right here, kind of where this is at, but over here just a little bit. He was worried about getting stuck himself, so that's why he dumped it to the side, but I can move it all over just a little bit, be kind of right through here. I completely forgot about my hot chocolate. It's not even hot anymore, it's just lukewarm. Been sitting out there in the truck for an hour now. I completely forgot about it. There we go. First load is done. It's definitely going to take more rock than I thought it was going to, because that's just one load right there. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 7 loads just to do this. And then I still have probably 8, 9, maybe 10 loads. So probably about 10 loads, I'm guessing. In case you're wondering what I'm doing here, is I've got a hole here now that's probably about 3.5 feet deep. This area is so soft that I could dump rock on top, but the rock's going to sink right in and I'll have to dump more rock. And so rather than do that, I thought, you know, in a little bit of this area at least, I've got a big pile of concrete slabs over there, broken up concrete. So I'm going to go over there and grab chunks of that now. I wish I had the bucket for the loader, but it's out on a farm cleanup. But I'm going to bring slabs of that concrete over here with the excavator and drop them in this hole, and then I'll grab this dirt and put it back over the top of them, and then we'll rock over the top of that. And that way, with that concrete down there, the rock won't push all the way down into the ground and disappear. This is working out pretty good so far though. He got stuck over here. I had to push him out with the excavator, so we went ahead and dumped rock there. That way he can drive through there now without getting stuck, because that was a really low spot. So now we'll put a load of rock right here in this bare dirt spot, and then some more roads out that, or some more roads, more rock going out that way to finish the road out. I think we're gonna have the road, the main road, built today. That's the goal. If I have to work till midnight, so be it. I usually work till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning anyway. With this concrete, it's about precision. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but you want to lay it out there to where it's flat, because if it's up on its side, it'll poke its way back through the ground eventually. But when it's laying like this, down good in the mud like that, you'll never see that concrete again. And there we go. There's about 8 to 10 inches of concrete in the bottom of that hole. So now I'll take all that dirt and clay and everything else and break back over the top of it, and then I'll dig another hole over here and keep doing the same thing as I have time. Of course, I probably should set the next load of cars out. We've got 3 loads of rock in now. He'll probably be back in a minute with another load. My phone's blowing up. You can probably hear it dinging as I'm talking. People wanting to bring cars out, wanting to bring converters, and wanting to do this and wanting to do that. Oh, I'm one person. I can't do it all. I need to get caught up. If I can just get through this week, then I'll be a lot more caught up. I'll have this road done. Tomorrow and the next day I have help coming, so we're gonna go out to the farm cleanup, get a bunch done there. So by next week, things will be a lot smoother, and then I can start buying like normal again. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, bury the concrete, and then we'll go from there and see what we do next. Load number 2 is loaded up. I've got the college out there with the car that's cut up. They've been waiting on me. And then they're also here working on the crusher. They're pulling all the cables off of it so they can go out and either build new cables or get new cables or something. So must be lunchtime. At noon once a month or once a week, or I forget how often it is. You hear it so often that you just get used to it. You don't even hardly notice it usually, but they sound all the tornado sirens just as a test. I don't know why I happened to notice it today. Normally, I don't even notice. And there he is again with another load of rock. I think he's gonna bring that one in here. We'll dump it right here. That'll fill this area in. Probably put another load of rock right here. I think we're gonna need one more load of rock down there. So yeah, then we're probably, oh, that wind. And then just for good measure, I'll probably have them dump one more load of rock right here. There we go, load number 3 for the day. Looks like they got the crusher all done too. Looks like they put a new negative cable on this one. The positive cable's original, but he took apart the old clamps and put them on there. Well, it looks like he just put new bolt in that one there. And then he put a new end on this one over here. And then, yeah, this is an all new negative cable here as well, or ground, or whatever you want to call it. And then looks like this one here is the original clamp. Oh, that's the negative there. Oh, so he put a new positive one on here. This black one is a new one. The red positive cable is the original. He just redid the ends, and then he put a new ground on here. I see. Okay, so a couple new cables, a couple new ends, a little bit of refurbishing. But it fires right up now. I may have a little bit of time for crushing today. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Then it looks like Todd was trapped in here. He came in the other way, dumped a load of rock, and couldn't get out while I was loading that truck, so he hopped in the excavator, started using it, leveling rock out for me. He runs equipment all the time, so he knows what he's doing. So that saved me a little bit of time there. Yeah, this is looking pretty good in here. Probably, well, we may not need another load of rock. We might put one more load of rock in here. I don't know, we'll think about it. I am for sure gonna need more rock over here eventually, but I want to bury some more of this concrete first. I dug that area out over here, but I want to dig this whole area out all through here and put more concrete in. That way it's all got a good foundation underground in it. There we go. That's as good as it's gonna get for now anyway. Eventually I'm probably gonna have to put some more rock over here. Have to get rid of that Mustang. I'll probably dig all this ground out over here because that's that real soft dirt. Then where the excavator's sitting, I'll bury some concrete, and then pretty much all of this area right here I'm gonna dig out and bury concrete. Right here where I'm standing at, I put a little bit of rock here, not a lot. This is still kind of a low spot. I can't really drive through here yet, but I just wanted to mark the area where I already buried concrete. That way I don't dig it back up later on accident. I just put a real thin layer of rock on top just so I'd know where it was at. But then over here, oh, this is rock real good. The only spot I'm kind of having a problem is right here. This is a low spot that was real soft. He actually got stuck here before we started putting rock in. This is a really, really squishy spot. Now this dirt on top, that came from, I dug some of those big chunks of rock way over there out, and I kind of dumped it in here to try to help it out a little bit. But this spot is really squishy. And he drove his dump truck through here clear full of rock, so it was fully loaded just to see how it went. And it sank a little bit through this rock, but it was just like compacting the rock down. It wasn't sinking in the ground until he got to this point right here. And when he got here, he went boop all the way down to the dirt. I mean, it was really soft here. And then once he got up here on this hill, he didn't get stuck, his tires didn't spin, nothing like that. But if he went through here a bunch of times, eventually this would turn to slop right here. But then once he got up here, he was fine on out. Over here he drove through one time, I had the excavator parked in the way, and it was pretty soft, but he was fine. But then over here, never had any issues at all. So I bring my semis in, as long as they stay in the middle of the rock, in the middle of the road, they'll be fine, no problem. Other than this one spot right here. In hindsight, what I should have done, I've never done anything like this in my entire life. So I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but I got to thinking afterwards, which it's too late now. Well, it's not that late. I could dig all the rock back out if I wanted to, but I'm going to try to make it work. But what I should do next time before I do anything like this is, if there's a real soft spot that's going to be in a spot where I have to drive a bunch, I should have dug all of the jello dirt, or whatever you want to call it, out that was real soft and squishy. I could have set it over here, and then I could have dug down in this dirt over here that I'm not going to be using this area anyway, dig down about a foot, 2 foot or whatever, and I get to the real hard clay dirt that's not as wet. I could have taken that over here and put it in the ground there, and then put rock over the top of it. I would have been fine. And then take all the jello dirt and fill the hole back in. That's what I should have done. Or I could have buried concrete over here, or I could have done a lot of things different in that spot right there, but I wasn't thinking. All I wanted to do was just get it done. And so I got it done, but now I'm going to have a little bit more work to do the next time I'm working here. I think what I'm going to do is, I'll show it to you in a second. I'll just go over here and show you this first. This is what I'm talking about when I say jello dirt, where I almost got the loader stuck earlier. You can see it's just like pure, like pudding, I guess. Pudding dirt, you could call it. And you can see down in the ground, you go down about, oh, what is that, about, it's hard to tell because it squishes the sides up. It looks like about 1.5 feet under the surface is this. And this is brick hard clay, and it's dry. You can see the dust coming off of it. I mean, that there is what's underneath the jello. And so if I would have put a bunch of this over there and then put rock over the top of it, there wouldn't be an issue right now. But I didn't, because you can see the difference. Watch my feet. See how I mean, obviously it's real loose dirt, so it's kind of compacting. But see here how once I get it compacted, it's brick hard. Then watch, I come over here, look at this dirt right here, watch my foot. It just sinks in there like nothing. And this ground here wasn't even tore up. This here is all loose dirt, and I still just walk right on top of it. That's the difference. So I'll have to remember that when I come back in this area again. Like I say, I think burying that concrete, and then if I bring the clay dirt up and put it on top, I think we'll be fine. Then put rock over the top of that. But as for that spot over there, what I think I'm going to do on it and any other spots that develop through here is I'm going to put this stuff on it. This stuff right here. These are big chunks of limestone, and it goes all the way down there. Now some of these are probably too big. Some of these are huge. But stuff like this right here, I mean, that's quite a bit bigger than my foot. But if I lay that down and then drive the excavator over it, that'll crumble up, no problem. I've got all this, and then I have one more small pile over there beside those cars. So I think next time I'm out here working, I'll crush all these cars, dig out that other pile of limestone, and then take it over there and dump it in that soft spot. And I think that should fix it. Once I pack enough rock in it and keep packing rock in it and keep packing rock in it and keep packing it down, shoving it down, eventually it'll hit that clay bottom and we'll be good to go. And then also part of the problem is it's still kind of wet out here. So there's no rain in the forecast for the next, I think, 2 weeks. So nothing significant anyway. So if we can get a couple weeks of dry weather, I probably won't be out here again for at least a week. Even by then, it'll be a little bit drier and it'll pack a little bit better. And once I use this for a while, I'm sure there's going to be some low spots develop. I'll have to bring in more rock. This stuff's $450 a load is what it costs. So it's not cheap, but I guess it's cheaper than cars. You know, back in the day, rock was more expensive than cars. There were several places where we were crushing cars. One time we actually took some vans and crushed them completely flat and rocked them and just made them as flat as possible. And there's a real soft area that was like that real nasty jello mud over there. We kind of scooped it out and we took those vans and put them down on the ground and sprinkled dirt over the top of them to try to level it out a little bit. And we drove across those vans. That's what we made our road out of. There was a bunch of cars that we were crushing that were on the back side of that low spot, and so we couldn't get the cars out of there. It wasn't ideal, but it's what we had to do. And then at the end of that, we took those vans and we peeled them back out of the dirt, kind of shook off most of the mud, and went ahead and crushed them and shipped them in. Eventually, probably next year sometime, once I ship a bunch of loads in and have some extra money, I want to rock all this through here too. But this is hard ground that even when it's wet and sloppy, it's only wet and sloppy on top. You won't get stuck in it no matter what you do. There's a lot of concrete buried underneath us right now, and asphalt, and you name it, up to probably about that point right there. kind of in line with that pile of rock across there. So from right here all the way to the crusher, all the way out to the property line, this entire area has, I don't know how many dozens and dozens and dozens of dump truck loads of concrete and asphalt buried. Then we put dirt over it, and then we put rock over the top of that, and then we used an actual, I forget what size, but a great big bulldozer to pack it all down. So it's well packed. And then somewhere kind of right in here, there's a trailer house buried underground. Now by now it's probably all rotted and mostly gone. I'm sure the plastic's still there, but it was just a whole trailer house and it was sitting right here. So we dug a trench beside it and rolled it over upside down and pulled the frame back out, smashed it all down and buried it. That was a long time ago. Nowadays we don't do stuff like that. We just send it all to landfill, but back in the day, that's just what you did with it. There wasn't anything hazardous in it, so I mean, it's not like we were contaminating the ground. It's not illegal to bury wood and stuff like that. So I didn't even film it because I was so busy filming everything else and working on everything else. But in addition to getting the road built, it took 11 loads of rock for that. But we shipped out 3 semi-loads of cars, and then we bought, let's see here, 8. We bought 8 vehicles today. A couple of them were these really stripped out shells here. Well, they're not really shells. They're just missing odds and end parts and pieces. But then we also bought a couple complete ones too. So what I got to do now is I'm going to hop in the loader, and eventually we're going to build a gate over there. But for now, we're just going to put cars there to keep people from driving in. There's nothing in here to steal anyway. We take all the valuable stuff home every day, so that's not a real big deal. But eventually we will build that gate. But I got to take the loader, block that off over there. I already put the excavator up, so then I'll put the loader up, and then hopefully there should be enough daylight. We have probably about 30 minutes of daylight left. I'll get a drone shot going over the top of the new road. All right, I got stuck moving this the last time. Let's see if I can get it over here without getting stuck again this time. No problem. There was one spot that's a little bit soft that I'll probably have to do that idea I had of putting some of the big chunks in it, but other than that, no problem at all. Way better than last time, at least, that's for sure. And with that, I am headed out for the day. So we got the road 99% done, or probably more like 95% done. A little bit more dry weather, probably another 30 minutes to 60 minutes worth of work. We'll be golden. I am going to head home and get out of this cold wind. This wind is something else. It's really not that bad other than my hands and my face. I have face shields and I have gloves, but I didn't bother to bring either of them today because I thought I was going to be in the equipment all day. It wasn't a big deal. Tomorrow, I'll be out in the field all day, so I will be sure to bring those with me. It feels good to have this job finally done. Gets a lot of stress off of me. One other thing I do want to do is make like a little parking area. That way I can park over there yet by that entrance. So a few odds and end things, but it just feels good to get that weight off of my shoulders of knowing now that we have an alternative access. But stay tuned for the next adventure. Like I say, got farm cleanup stuff coming. I've got some auction videos recorded that I'll be posting soon. A lot of stuff coming down the pike, so stay tuned for all of that. As always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. And remember to get out there, find yourself an adventure. We'll see you on the next one.